Okay, so welcome back to Dragonflight Beta. Going to look at the talent for Invoker, since I have already looked at the abilities and shown what those do. So, I think the best way to do this is just to reset everything from the default settings that it gave me, and then just go through and reset everything. I've had a chance to play around with all the abilities, so I have a rough idea to go by of what's good, maybe what's not. So by default, from what I can tell, you do get at least one talent, which is usually an ability. Um, so for Invoker, in this case, it would be Landslide, which is a CC ability. It roots enemies for 30 seconds. Damage may cancel the effect. So, on course, pretty on course with what other CC abilities are. So, you have um, you have Invoker abilities, of course, kind of your baseline abilities, and then you have um, spec-specific abilities. So, Invoker points available would be more just your class, and then of course Devastation would be more just the spec. So we'll start with Invoker. So Obsidian Scales, reinforce your scales, which we already have. That's an armor. Expunge, which is your kind of your cleanse. So both of those are in the starter build. Okay, that's fine. So both those are pretty good. Natural convergence. So disintegrate channels 20% faster. Permanenting chill. Your damaging blue spells reduce the target's movement speed by 50% for 3 seconds. So, this is what I was referring to when I was going over the abilities. So, if you enhance one ability, so all your blue abilities, so that would be Azura Strike, Disintegrate, Eternal Surge, and I think that's it. So it'll affect 3 spells. Also goes to what I was saying about just kind of the overall kind of feel as a caster. They do what you'd expect them to do. So all the blue spells are frost spells, and this will let you give them the ability to slow movement speed, just as most of Frost Mage's abilities do. So, not really anything unusual, per se. Verdant Embrace, so that is your big single target heal if you were playing Preservation. Don't know that we need that. Did it take away... no, Eternal Blossom I have. Or do I? I don't like the fact that you've reset everything. It doesn't make the changes to your command bar. Nothing changes until you hit Apply Changes. Because I would rather have this. I'd rather have Fervent Embrace than Emerald Blossom. Let me see here. So it looks like all your... yeah, I can't really tell. Looks like a flower. How difficult is that to find? I don't see it. At least I'm not seeing it yet. Okay, well, we'll just keep going through. See, if it told me what I would lost when I reset everything, I could make a more confident decision. So, I think taking natural convergence is probably good. Probably permeating chill. So I found out I reset. I transferred another character over and reset theirs and was going through theirs, and I have discovered that your choice at the top of the tree is somewhat limited in that you'll probably end up taking most everything because you have to have used so many, as you see here, to unlock the next row and so on until you get to the bottom. And then at first it may not seem like you have enough points for everything because you're starting at level 60. You will get more as you get to level 70. So I imagine you're going to end up with about everything. I don't know exactly how many. I imagine it's like 1 point every level or every other level. Kind of like it was with the old talent trees. So, yeah, I guess that's fine. I guess we'll take that for now. Forging of mountains. Landslide cooldown is reduced by 30 seconds. And it can withstand 200% more damage before breaking. Okay, so that's going to be, I imagine, good for PvP, maybe Mythics, Mythic Plus. Innate magic. Essence regenerates 5% faster. I haven't really noticed an issue with that, so I don't know. Putting two talent points in that may or may not be worth it. Obsidian Scales has an additional charge. I think probably 2 charges is going to be good. In Kindled, Living Flame deals 3% more damage and healing. Now that could be good. Scarlet Adaptation. Store 20% of your effective healing up to 8,871. Your next damaging Living Flame consumes all stored healing to increase its damage dealt. Now that's interesting. So, let's see here. Obsidian Scales is fine. Okay. Kindling's good. See, that I'm not entirely sure because I don't really use it for healing. I use it mostly for damage. Okay, so that is your interrupt, so we'll take that. And then we've unlocked the next tier. So, recall. Had we taken Initiate Magic, innate magic, excuse me. Would have let us take recall. You may reactivate deep breath within 3 seconds after landing to travel back in time to your takeoff location. Deep breath. Oh, okay. I wondered, because it leaves like a effigy where you worse. I couldn't tell if that was just part of the spell or if it actually seemed like kind of like arcane, like you were supposed to be able to like blink back. Heavy wing beats. Wing buffs. Buff its. Cooldown is reduced by 45 seconds. Cobblering sweep. Tail swipe's cooldown is reduced by 45 seconds. Okay. Outside of PvP, I really don't use like knockbacks all that often. Tailwind hover increases your movement speed by 70% for the first 4 seconds. That could be good. Carterizing flame. Carterize. Okay, so this is a preservation ability, or an ability that preservation has. Cauterize an enemy's wound, removing all bleed, poison, curse, and disease effects. Heals for 20,000 upon removing any effect. It's a bit of an interesting, again, kind of a priest, kind of gives you an idea of a priest ability. Interesting. So I think Tailwind could be good. Yeah. So Roar of Exhalation. Successfully interrupt an enemy with Quail. Grants 1 essence. I'm really bad at using that unless it's like in a mythic, like Mythic Plus or something. Instructive Arcana? Your magic damage done is increased by 2%. So, what does it consider magic damage? Like, is... That's fire damage. That's spell frost damage. Fire damage. Volcanic damage. Spell frost damage. Fire damage. Spell frost damage. So... See, this is one of those abilities that's kind of vague. Does it increase everything? Does it increase just the blue ability, since it actually says spell in their name? Tip of the scales. Okay, so that's an ability we already had, so I think that's pretty worthwhile to keep for the moment. Had we taken Carterizing Flame, would have unlocked it. Atoned to the Dream. Your healing done and healing received is increased by 2%. Sleepwalk. Disorient an enemy for 20 seconds, causing them to sleepwalk towards you. Damage has a chance to awaken them. Well, that's an interesting ability. So... this or not? I guess I'll take this, see how it does. 4%, not a lot. Honestly. So... Draconic Legacy. Your stamina is increased by 2%. Okay. Inherent Resilience, magic damage taken reduced by 2%. Extended Flight, hover lasts 2 seconds longer. So again, going down the Cauterizing the Flame row here. Bountiful Bloom, Emerald Blossom heals 2 additional allies. How many does it heal now? Up to 3. So if you were in a dungeon, it would heal the entire group. Ancient Flame. Healing yourself with Living Flame reduces the cast time of your next Living Flame by 40%. Interesting. I kind of like that. So... 4% I don't think is worth it. Or is it? I don't know. This is a really weird kind of a row here. So, hover I don't really use right now. At this point. So, I guess I can put 2 in both of these because health and resistance is pretty good. And most anything you find in an instance is going to be damage. So, magic damage. So, Blast Furnace. Fire burst damage over time lasts 2 seconds longer. Exorbrent. While above 75% health, your movement speed is increased by 10%. Source of magic. Redirect your excess magic to a friendly healer for 30 minutes. When you cast an empowered spell, you restore 0.25% of their maximum mana per empowered level. Limit 1. That's interesting. Walloping Blow, Wing Buffet, and Tail Sweep. Knock enemies further and daze them, reducing movement speed by 70% for 4 seconds. Okay. And Pencata? Kati? Emerald Blossom instantly heals you for 16,000 when cast. Doesn't have all that long of a cast time to begin with. Yeah, after 2 seconds. So... okay, so that could be good. Movement speed increased. Okay, now I need one more. maxed out all of these for the most part. Uh-huh. Okay. Well. What was... So tail swipe. Okay, we'll just do that. Having a more of an AoE is not... Yeah. Okay. So unravel. Sunder an enemy's protective magic. Dealing 29,000 spell frost damage to absorb shields. Okay. Protective talons. Azure Strike deals 1 additional. Azure Strike damages 1 additional enemy. Opposing Roar, which is a ability we have. Okay. So that could be good. Not sure about anything else here. We've got 10 points to spend. It will not let you apply changes unless all points are spent. Which to me is a bit strange, but okay. So regenerative magic. Sources of magic forms a source of magic forms a bond with your ally, causing 15% of their healing to also heal you while you are below 50% health. Rescue, swoop to an ally, fly them to your target location. Lash growth. Green spells restore 5% more health. Okay. Now that's a little more straightforward. That I don't mind so much. Because it kind of lets you tweak kind of how you want to play. If you want to be more of a hybrid class and do some off-spec healing, you can. I know some healers like to do that. Renewing Blaze. The flames of life surround you for 8 seconds. While this effect is active 100%. Okay, so that's an ability we had that we don't have anymore. So interesting. Okay, Leaping Flames, Flame Breath causes your next living flame to strike one additional target per empower level. Okay. I actually like that because sometimes when I would use Fire Breath, it would do like 75% damage to everything. There would just be a little bit of health left. So getting a little bit of an extra effect from Living Flame after that wouldn't be a terrible thing. Overall, Pressing Roar removes one enrage effect from each enemy, and its cooldown is reduced by 20 seconds for each enrage dispelled. RL Mastery. Hover grants one additional charge. Twin Guardian Rescue protects you and your ally from harm, absorbing damage equal to 30% of your maximum health for 5 seconds. Flocy of Life. While Renewing Blaze's initial effect is active, you reduce 20%. You receive 20% increased healing from all sources. Fire Within, Renewing Blaze's cooldown is reduced by 30 seconds. Renewing Blaze. Okay, so it's the shield. Terror of the Skies. The deep breath stuns enemies for 3 seconds. Okay. Kind of like that. So I still have 8 points to spend. Time Spiral. Okay, so that was an ability. And then Zephyr. Conjure an updraft to lift you and your 4 nearby allies within 20 yards into the air, reducing damage taken from area of effect attacks by 20% and increasing movement speed by 30% for 8 seconds. Okay. So... So I need to... Okay, so we'll take 2 more seconds of hover. Knock them back further. Dazing them, reduce movement speed. Okay, that could be good. Okay, some self-healing wouldn't be bad. this, we'll go ahead and take the shield. While renewing before its initial effect is active. So I'm always partial to a reduced cooldown. I don't need Cypher. It's not right now. So 2 abilities. That's okay, so I'm looking to see if I've maybe missed anything that might be worth having. There was... yeah, we'll just do regeneration, see how that works. So, it's a bit... it's a bit confusing that this kind of whole half here was mostly like focused on healing. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense, kind of gives you that choice, like I said, if you want to do kind of a hybrid build. Okay, so now for Devastation. So Pyre is our ability. Ruby Essence Burst. Your Living Flame has a 20% chance to cause an Essence Burst, making your next... Okay. Cost no essence. Okay. That, I don't know. I don't really use Pyre that much. And then Azura Essence Burst. Azura Strike has a 15% chance to cause an Essence Burst, making your next... Wait, what? Your Living Flame has a... Oh, I see. Well, we'll just take both those then, I guess. Cost is reduced by 1. Okay, so... Dense Energy, Pyre's Essence cost is reduced by 1. Will's cooldown is reduced by 20%. Opposing Presence. Inner Radiant, your Living Flame, and Emerald Blossom are 30% more effective on yourself. I could see benefit with that. Eternal Surge. Eternity Surge. So, dealing frost damage. Do I need 2 of these? That is the question. probably... See, this is where it's kind of important. See, if I'd taken the impermeating chill, which I did, so this should reduces movement speed. So I guess we kind of have to is reduced by 1. That would be nice. So when I do use Pyre, it's not as much of a cost. So volatility, Pyre has a 15% chance to flare up and explode again on a nearby target. Power Nexus increases your maximum essence to 6. Okay, kind of like that. Dragon Rage, if we'd taken one of the 2 options above. Erupt with dramatic... Okay, so that is our ability here. Which I'm fine losing that because I didn't fully understand what it did. So... yeah, that might be a mistake later. That's the thing. There's going to be a lot of kind of playing around, which it's unfortunate that it's so high up because if I decide to change something, now you can take a talent point from the bottom to take something up top, but if you try to change something up top, it removes everything from the bottom up to that ability, which makes sense the way this is supposed to be, but just makes it difficult to kind of swap around and change things. Lay Waste, deep rest damage is increased by 10%. Yeah, we'll take both of those. Arcane Intensity. Deals 8% more damage. Yep, we'll take both of those. Ruby Embers. Living Flame deals damage over 14 seconds to enemies or restores health to allies over 12 seconds next up 3 times. Engulfing Blaze, Living Flame deals 40% increased damage and healing, but its cast time is increased by 0.5 seconds. Okay. And Ammoosity? Causing an casting an empowered spell extend the duration of Dragon Rage by 6 seconds. So we didn't take Dragon Rage, so Essence Burst stacks 2 times. Essence Burst is that I'm not 100% sure. I kind of like that. Having a dot would be nice. I was thinking that as I was working through the Invoker starting zone. Firestorm, an explosion bombards the target area with white-hot embers, dealing 11,000 fire damage to enemies for 12 seconds. Okay. Heat wave, fire breath deals 20% more damage. Okay. That seems like it would be worth taking. Titanic Wrath, Essence Burst. Okay. Essence Burst increases the damage of affected spells by 7.5%. Is that a Essence Burst? Your Living Flame has a 20% chance, and your Zero Star has a 15% chance to make your... Okay. Your Disintegrate and Pyre cost no essence. Living Flame. Okay. So... that makes a little more sense. So... stacks 2 times. So that might not be so bad for... Disintegrate. I really don't use Pyre. I use Disintegrate quite a bit. I think of this like I-Beam, so it just casually works into the rotation every few spells. Okay, so where were we here? So, Horned Aggression. Is your strike and Living Flame deal 5% additional damage? Okay. Eternity Span, Eternity Surge, and Shattering Star. Hit twice as many targets. What's Shattering Star? Go ahead and take that. Let's see here. Not sure. Not sure at all. I've taken almost everything in this side of the tree there. So Eye of Infinity, Eternity Surge, Critical Strikes grant 1 additional essence. Casualty. Essence abilities reduce the remaining cooldown of Eternity Surge by 1 second. So I don't think I'm going to be using that. I don't think it's worth prioritizing it. I'm going to be using Fire Breath more. Catalyze. While channeling your Fire Breath on the target deals damage 100% more often. I don't really use them together, so... I either use Fire Breath or Disintegrate, so... one or the other. Tyranny. During Deep Breath and Dragon Rage, you gain the maximum benefit of Mastery, regardless of the target's health. Okay, so I'll take that because we don't have Dragon Rage anymore. So, and this is a passive, so I'm getting the effect anyway. Okay, so increases the damage of your spells by up to 22.5% based on the current health of your target Higher health targets take more damage. So, yeah, that seems like it's good. Charged Blast. Your blue damage, increase the damage of your next pyre by 5%, stacking 20 times. Okay. So now I need 3 more. So, I do like the cleave effect that Pyre has. I just don't. I just don't use it in the rotation. It's usually kind of a filler spell if I use it at all. So that might not be terrible to take. Trying to avoid taking other spells because I kind of have enough. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. So I think the fire side's pretty... Curiosity, does it only... Okay, so it only lets you take 1, so... Okay, so we'll look at the blue side here. Eternity Surge. Would be nice to know what Shattering Star was. Is that something... Is it a spell I haven't gotten yet? No? Don't think so. Yeah, I am not 100% sure. So it seems to be... So it's... Twice as many targets, so it's a blue ability? Okay. Not sure. Might be worth taking, though. I like the idea of more targets. Critical Strike generates 1. Essence abilities reduce the cooldown of Eternity. Okay. While channeling, disintegrate your fire breath. Target deals more. Okay. Your blue damage increases the damage of your next fire by 5%, stacking 20 times. Okay. Oh, there it is. Shattering Star. Exhale a bolt of concentrated power from your mouth for 9,500 spell frost. Damage that cracks the target's defenses, increasing the damage they take from you by 20% for 4 seconds. So it's basically like fire breath, just with frost. Okay. This maybe should have been a little higher up, so it actually made sense when you were picking other talents here. 3 more. So I saw... I might just take that. Make a... Well, I just really don't use Pyre, though. Put on you. Okay, I'll take that. And... I guess I will take that for the sake of spending them on something. Cleave damage is not bad, so... And it may be very much that I just wasn't quite filling out the rotation as much as I could have. I just didn't need to use anything else. By the time you went through Living Flame and Disintegrate, maybe Fire Breath, you know, everything was dead. So, I imagine as things get tougher in higher levels as you get closer to max level again, you'll probably need to start using more abilities. So, okay, so Snapfire, Living Flame has a 12% chance to reset the cooldown of Firestorm. And make your next one instant cast and deal 40% increased damage. Font of Magic, your empowered spells maximum level is increased by 1. I wondered if they were going to do something like this. Every time they put something like this in, you can kind of think of it, kind of how combo points work, I suppose. Or like with the essence, you know, having a resource, they always put something in so you can extend it further. Onyx Legacy Deep Breaths cooldown is reduced by 1 minute. That I'm taking because having a 2-minute cooldown is, to me, a little ridiculous for what it does. Spellweaver's Dominance. Your damaging critical strikes deal 220% damage instead of the usual 20. Okay. And then focusing Iris. Shattering Stars damage taken. Effect lasts 2 seconds longer. Arcane Vigor. Shattering Star generates 1 essence. Burnout. Fire Breath damage has 8% chance to cause your next Living Flame to be instant cast stacking 2 times. Imminent destruction. Empowered spells reach maximum level in 10% less time. Okay, I like that. Shitterlatchen? Disintegrate has a 15% chance each time it deals damage to launch a level 1 Eternity Surge at 30% power. Kind of like that. What? 60% power. Okay. I'll take that. And Power Swell. That's where we were. Yeah. Power spell. Casting an empower spell increases your essence regeneration rate by 100% for 2 seconds. Feed the flames, consuming essence burst. Reduces the remaining cooldown of fire breath by 2 seconds. Consuming essence burst. Did we? Everything has had a 20% chance. Okay. So, new class still. Got to get used to what everything does. So, ever burning flame, red spells extend the duration of your fire breath damage by 1 second. That could be very good. Because if you add just 2-3 seconds to a almost 30, you got to think by the time you get to max level, probably about a 30,000 or more spell. Ever burning flame, you're red. Okay, that was what we were just at. Hoarded power, essence burst. Has a 20% chance to not be consumed. I like that. Wait a minute, just to make sure. 20% chance to make your... Cost no essence. Yeah, okay. So you could potentially use it back to back twice, kind of like a... kind of like with Fire Mage and the one talent that has a similar effect to this, where it won't consume your hot streak. So, and that's like an 8% chance, and it's usually pretty good. Like it would proc like 2-3 times. So that I think is worth playing around with. And Iridency. Casting an empowered spell increases the damage of your next 2 spells of the same color by 15% within 10 seconds. See, that's why I said the color thing I think is going to be the thing that gets kind of confusing. I can see them doing away with this, like I said, in an expansion or two. Like, it was an idea we tried and it just didn't quite pan out like we thought. Okay, so I have 4 left to spend. What haven't I taken here? So, yeah, we can try that. Tend to use more fire than frost. So, consuming. And I think we'll take that. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so let's see here. What abilities? So I've unlearned 4 things. Rescue, Time Spiral, Dragon's Rage, and Spell Dominance. So I'm pretty fine with that. So let's see here. Well, that seems quicker. I thought... didn't... Your empowered spell's maximum level is increased by 1. Yeah, so... And I thought I took... Cost is reduced by 1. So... why didn't it take the abilities? That is a bit strange. It still costs 2. It cost 2 before. Well, beta is beta, so maybe all changes haven't been implemented. Let's try to reload. No. That's still pretty much the same. Unless there were abilities I already had. Which is quite possible. I may have taken some of the same abilities that I had before. So. I will say, the Devastation talent tree made a little more... was a little more straightforward. So one side was fire, one side was frost. You noticed a lot of the block abilities were kind of in the middle. Whereas with the actual Invoker, it was kind of like, yeah, one side was kind of healing, one side was kind of CC, the middle was kind of your, I guess your, like yourself, your utility. I wish the other side had been more like the Devastation side. I think it would have been a little more easier to understand. And you can save loadout, so you can swap between different content, so questing, dungeons, raids, things like that. So, yeah. So there you go, folks. There were the talents for Invoker. Hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for watching.